Hello, my name is Isabel, and I'm going to be talking to you about life and career and how, as youth, we are affected by what we see and what we surround, what we consume on the internet and even in our daily lives. So, today I'm actually going to be talking about appreciating the small steps that you make in life. Nowadays, when you go on the internet, people are celebrating buying homes, people are celebrating being employed in the big four, let's say finance institutions. We're talking about winning the Olympics. And let me tell you, all those are really good and we need to celebrate them. But I'm here to remind you really to celebrate the small wins and how celebrating these small wins can really push you to celebrating the big ones, or rather achieving the big ones. So in life, we need to celebrate the small wins. And I can liken them to a child growing up. When they start, they're a baby, they're an infant, and then they grow on to be toddlers, and then young children playing in school, then going on to be preteens, teens, and then young adults into adulthood. Throughout, there's these small steps that people will say are markers of showing their growth. Let's say their first step, their first walk, their first word they say. Even when they just sit upright without support. These are milestones in the child's life. But just imagine if you are the mother and you're there celebrating your child sitting upright, and someone tells you, no, you shouldn't celebrate that. You should only be celebrating when this child walks. Is that not abnormal? You are there, you're celebrating your child standing up, just standing up, and somebody's telling you, no, you're only supposed to celebrate when they run. That is not normal. You're supposed to celebrate every single thing. And I don't mean throw a party. I mean appreciating, like you're seeing this and it's making you happy. Just bring it back to your life. Let's say you've left home, you've finally moved to your own single room, and all you have with you is, let's say, just a gas cooker, one sufuria, and a spoon and a cup. Then, 1 month down the line, you add your first plastic table into that house. That is honestly a big achievement, because if you look at it, that's growth. If you're waiting to celebrate when you have a fully furnished 3-bedroom house, you will really be disappointed in your journey. You will always be sad, just feeling as though you're not making progress in the right direction. But every day you now come from a mattress, now you have a bed, and you're feeling happy and good about it. And you need to pat yourself on the back and say, yes, I'm going in the right direction. Because for you to get that fully furnished house, you'll need to buy each item individually. How then can you apply this even in your career growth? When you start day one and you finished your certificate, or if it's your diploma, or if it's your degree, whichever level you're at, it starts with you went through the process, you sat through those exams, you passed, you've gotten your certification. Celebrate that milestone. Even if you're starting from a certificate level, it doesn't matter, celebrate it. Then, now, move on. Well, let's say you decide you want to, first of all, gain some experience. You've done your first attachment or internship. You've finished, you've gotten a good review from your supervisor. Celebrate it. And as you're celebrating it, you're also marking on your CV. As you go, you're building your CV or resume, whichever you like to call it, but here we call it CV. You're building your CV. How else then are you going to build it if you're not going through it step by step? Next, you go now. Say you started with a certificate, you've done experience, you've gained experience, you're moving on to your diploma. You do it, you finish. You can't now start saying, oh, I'm not good, I don't have a master's. You just achieved something else, and that's something you can tick off your list of things to do, But when you're thinking about what others are doing, and you are limiting the celebration you need to be having, you start becoming depressed. You start feeling as though you're worthless. And when you're feeling worthless, it's easy to spiral further into depression. It starts with comparing yourself to others. Remember, you're on a personal journey. This is not, you're not being compared to anyone. And if you're comparing yourself to someone, you're really doing a disservice to yourself. No one has told you to compare yourself. Yes, you can look at others and draw inspiration from them, but they are on their journey and you are on yours. You may think that that's the best that you can be, but no. Expose yourself to different situations, expose yourself to different people, and then you'll realize, wow, if you ask them the backstory, they'll tell you, I started out as, let's say, a casual worker. And when I worked as a casual worker, I made sure I was the best. And then I was promoted to be the head of the casual workers. And from there, I moved on to be the one in charge of operations. And then from there, I moved on to be the manager of that region. They started out as a casual worker. They were working on their journey slowly by slowly. And they were celebrating each step along the way. But if they sat down and said, oh, I amount to nothing, I'm a casual laborer, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, they'd be stuck where they are. So think about your personal journey. Think about what you want and work towards it. And as you're working towards it, celebrate those steps that you've taken. Celebrate each rise, celebrate each achievement. And even when you're knocked down, pick yourself up, dust yourself, and move on. Because that is part of life. We have ups and downs. It's never flat out. I mean, it would be such a boring life. I don't know about you, but there are days I fall down and I feel very bad. I feel so bad. And luckily, if I can't get up on my own, I have my friends who can help me get up. But at the end of the day, I know that it's just a lesson. I pick a lesson from it and move on. So how are you going to go through life? Are you just going to sit down and cry a river, or are you going to work hard and move on to being a better you? So think about yourself. Think about what you want. This is your journey. This is you wanting to be an amazing person. Celebrate the small wins as you work towards achieving your big win. For you to get to that big mansion, you'll start with one room and go on. If you're lucky to get there in advance, well and good, celebrate others. But if you're struggling through it, you're not alone. People are there for you. And if you feel like you're alone, show others that they can associate with you and they will be there to help you up. So, kwaheri.